Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing Visions of Japan, Kawase Hasui's masterpieces. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. So this is another book that depicts Shin Hanga art, which was the specific art period from the early 1900s in Japan. It followed on the heels of the ukiyo-e, which is those traditional woodblock prints that we think of on Japan. But Shin Hanga was really not thought of as a really, I would say, good, correct, notable art form for a while. It was kind of denigrated by the art field, but it eventually gained respect, and it's actually an art form that I really like. So I've been reading several books on Shin Hanga. This was a recent one just featuring the one artist, and it is divided into two sections. The first section is these essays which explain the artist's life and where he traveled, where he worked, and includes some pictures. And the second half is just the art. So I wanted to show you some of my favorite pieces from this book, and if you are looking for a good good book that showcases Shin Hanga art, then look no further than Visions of Japan. Also, the cover is beautiful, which is always a plus. I think all of the Shin Hanga art pieces Shin Hanga art books that I have checked out of the library and read have had these really beautiful style covers, so that is a plus. So the first section is just about the artist, when he worked and where he worked, what he drew, and also includes a section on the seal he used. That's less interesting to me because I'm not an art student, but it could be interesting to you. So these are some of the art pieces that I loved. I loved the winter scenes. This is hard to showcase. These are both winter. I found that he produced a lot of like art scenes, or winter scenes, art scenes. What am I saying? Which I really like. Also, something else that is talked about is his pictures. Well, drawing on that traditional aspect of Japan, also included modern touches like steel bridges and telephone poles, which was something that wouldn't have been included in those original ukiyo-e art prints. And that is because Japan was modernizing at the time that these prints were being done. I love these with the blowing snow. I actually really like snow when I'm inside and it's outside and I don't have to drive in it or stop my car in it or slide off the road in it. So seeing it in art is fantastic. Page 55 is where the cover is from, in case you are interested. This is one of my favorite pieces right here. The prints are arranged in chronological order, for those of you who are wondering. I'm gonna stop for a sip of water. I have a sore throat. But the library wants their books back, so I have to film today. I'm surprised at the level of detail that can be brought into these. Really enjoy them. And at this time in Japan, there was a discussion going on about whether or not the artist was an individual versus the traditional woodblock style, in which the artist worked with a printer as part of a team. That was part of the discussion. So and that's discussed in the essay section at the beginning, and it's discussed in a lot of other Shin Hanga books. These just seem very quiet. That's why I liked these. That was my note on these. They seem like very quiet pieces. This is definitely one of those books you want to check out of the library, and then if you like it, get a copy of it. I would love to acquire a copy of these. So we have these here. I'm gonna say something which is probably not what any art critic, in fact, art critics would probably murder me if I said this. This print right here, just take a look. It's on page 76 for those of you who have the book. This one gives me very strong Morrowind vibes. The game Morrowind, it's the third in the Elder Scrolls series. I absolutely love it. This one gives off Morrowind vibes. And I think it's like the rainy night, but there's hut with light. It's just very Morrowind. The next one's on page 91. This one is inside a spa or a bath, and I'm just surprised because I feel like I've never seen this in a woodblock print, so it's a very unique scene and a very unique subject, which I really liked. This is one that showcases that ancient to modern or traditional Japan, which is seen by this architecture, and the modern and the car. Again, something you wouldn't see in ukiyo-e because the cars weren't around. But we have this juxtaposition. And these later in the book, so this one is from 1936, so we're starting to get into a more modern time. And yeah, you start to see that in his prints. The final one I wanted to showcase, because I can't showcase every single print because they're all that good, is 106. This one is just really, really pretty. It feels light. That's the word I would use to describe this print. We have the cherry blossoms, very traditional Japan. Yeah. Like it. So if you're looking for a brief essay on one of the famous Shinhanga artists, as well as a good collection of his work, Vision of Japan would be a fantastic book to look at. I loved it. I think it has a pretty cover, and I enjoyed looking through these prints over the course of an evening. So if you were looking for something similar, Visions of Japan could be a book for you. Also check out my other videos on Shinhanga. I will have them linked as end screens. So I've done 2 other books and book reviews on Shinhanga, and I love talking about it because I love the art form, so be sure to check those out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.